Back here live on the Georgetown Eagle Coaches Show with Coach Jordon Vierra, live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Thank you so much to Ashley and the Pok-e-Jo staff for all they do to make this happen each and every week, to host this this beautiful location, to have this show. And there were some muted mics on the intro, and so I'm glad someone chimed in. I just don't want to have a hot mic, and so at the wrong time. And so, but, we started off, I was talking about just the tough series against Canyon. Some of the players we're going to visit tonight, some of the performances that you can. One thing about this team, Coach, as you join us, it's just fun to think you can go from one series to the next, and it may not be that same player, but there's so many contributors on this team that find a way at the right time to make an appearance, to make an effect on the game, that you just don't have to rely on that one or two players. This team has top to bottom, and if someone doesn't have a great game offensively, their defense doesn't suffer. The mindset of these kids is fun to be a part of and to watch. And so a big series against Canyon Cougars, a big 3-game series, some tough ball games, but a victorious series nonetheless to move on in the playoffs. Walk us through that against Canyon.
Yeah, we ended up getting a really good game one start from Nick Silva. Goes out and throws really well. Our offense is able to be extremely productive. Had a couple of calls that possibly didn't really go our way that were followed up by home runs. We get big hits. Ultimately, played really good defense. We pitched it really well, played really quality defense behind it, and was able to get the big hit when we needed to. Then you carry over into game 2. We end up having another competitive baseball game. Hit a couple other balls really hard, continue to play quality defense behind them. Jacob does a really good job going out and pitching really well. A couple of bounces don't really go your way, and then you end up rolling over into game 3, and you pass the ball to Nolan Jondel, who hasn't had a ton of starts this year, but the starts that he has had, he's done a really good job of. So you give him the ball, he goes out and he goes and gives you the 4 innings, I believe that it was. Then you pass the ball off to Ty, Klaus Keismore, and Ty does a really good job of filling it up, allowing the defense behind to play well. You end up getting the big hits as you need to there at the end. We scored 1 in the first game 3. Game continues to pass along. We give up the 2 late. And then we're able to scratch back. When you have 7, 8, or 8, 9 that starts off the bottom of the 7th there, that something special can happen, especially when the leadoff guy gets on, and that's all we were trying to do there at the end. You end up getting the guys on. They end up going to the bullpen the way that you want them to, and ends up going the way that you wanted. So our guys, like you said, it's never been a matter of needing to rely on 1 or 2 or 3 guys. It's a collective effort. We got 22 guys on that club that we trust to be able to give the ball to at any point in time, to be able to swing the bat when they need to be able to get the big hit, to be able to attack the strike zone and play quality defense. So I think it goes back to what we keep talking about. It's a gritty group of guys that enjoys competing together, that enjoys showing up together every day. And understands that at any point in time your number can be called, and when that number gets called, it's time to go to work.
Let's go back to game 3, inning number 7. As a coach, the emotion after it, we were chatting after the game, and you said, give me a minute, let me digest this, let me swallow this one. Mm-hmm. As a coach, an inning like that, you go into the bottom of the 7th inning, you're the home team, which was a great coin toss win. It's
the first, by the way.
After game 2, to win home at the Westlake facility. But then you go into that bottom of the 7th, down 1. We talk about, you can talk about just the history of baseball, the bottom of the order coming up, and that doesn't make a difference on this team. Ty gets on base, Andon beats out a bunt, and all of a sudden you roll it over to your top of your lineup. A win like that to come from behind in a big series, to stay alive in the year, to keep your season alive. What did that mean as a coach and watching these kids?
It's happened a couple of times this year where we've had our back up against the wall, and just found a way to get it done. Told those guys as they were coming up, told Ty, said, man, you're about to either get a big hit, you're going to find a way on first base. And then I looked at Andon and said, you're going to get a bunt down, either move him over or find a way on base. And then once both of those things happen and they change the pitcher for the second time, walked over, and you look over and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are up, and looked at those 4 guys standing there and go, one of you guys is about to walk this thing off. I said, if you don't get it done, then you're going to get it done. If you don't get it done, then you're going to get it done. And sure enough, it was able to be able to pass the ball off to the next guy. You end up having just totally spaced. Mazok ends up getting hit by the pitch. Then EJ gets hit by another pitch to be able to force in the tying run. Landon has a tough at bat, gets one off his knuckles, and it's bang bang at the plate. And then you end up passing it off to Rhys Bell at the end there, and he hits the ball hard in the left field to be able to win the thing. So, you end up right where you want to be as the season progresses and as things start to continue to roll in the postseason. When 7, 8, 9 are rolling, and those guys are getting on base, that's when you know special things are happening with your offense. And right now, I'd put the bottom half of our lineup up against anybody's, and our guys keep doing a great job.
And it's funny because in the broadcast, as we went to the top of the 7th, I said, in prime position coming up, face their 7, 8, 9 hitters, knowing that Hollingshead sitting there at the top of their lineup, a great hitter, a great athlete on that Canyon Cougar team, one that you don't want to face if you don't have to.
Right.
But then we get to our part of the lineup, and just sitting there thinking, okay, it's 8, 9, and 1. Okay, that's just a continuation of our lineup to continue. We've talked about it several times here in the year. Andon Petty, as he moved down and then got in that 9th slot and almost settled in like, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
The productivity, the runs scored with that speed, and then having the top of the lineup hitting him around. And so things have just fallen into place for this team and the ability to, no matter where we are in that lineup, to make things happen. And that happened on Saturday afternoon. And what a game it was. What a victory over a great Canyon Cougar team. Got to give credit to them. What a job by them. And Coach Gazole, they have some talent. The play by Wyman, and we called him Wyman on the broadcast after talking to their coach because we couldn't pronounce his last name. It was harder than any of the names we have on our team. But the play he made off the mound on that ball by Landon and to make a throw off balance, it was a great play. Thought it could have gone either way on Andon sliding in, but then the next man up, and Rhys came through with that and a base hit to left field to walk it off. And so just a fun series to be a part of. Now we move on. Corpus Christi Ray comes in. We take them on in a 3-game series, best of 3. A good team. Rated in the last poll that Texas High School Baseball put out, had them ranked at number 2. They're 34-4 overall. What do we see out of Ray?
They're a really competitive team. They got a couple of quality arms. Some guys that can attack the strike zone with multiple pitches, that they can pitch. They're not just guys that are just going to get up there and throw it and hope that they hit their spots. They're guys that they attack locations and they spin it really well. They got a good defense behind them. They got a couple of guys in their lineup that can be dangerous, and some guys that can move the ball around as they need to. They're just like every other team that we face. They're a quality baseball team. But it goes back to we're not playing them. We're competing against the game of baseball. And they're a team. But when we do what we like to do and we do it well, like I said before, and I'll continue to say it, I believe that our guys, when we do the little stuff right, can compete with anybody in the state of Texas, and that's what we'll get to see this weekend. They're a quality team. They play in a quality area where there's a lot of good baseball down there in the valley, and so we're looking forward to another competitive series.
We're playing at Northeast Sports Park in San Antonio for all 3 games at a neutral site, a beautiful turf field, great facility that San Antonio has there at Northeast Sports Park. Does that liken to the speed game that you guys like to play? Being on that turf, the kids are familiar with it. The footing is good. It's not the loose dirt that we saw, especially like in Floresville. Yeah. Having a hard time to get a good footing to make to steal bases on. It kind of takes away some of that speed advantage. Does that set us up into a situation where these guys can continue to be more successful on the base pass to put that pressure on?
Yeah, I think it eliminates some variables, right? And the more variables that you can eliminate, the easier it becomes. We know that it really doesn't matter what field that you're playing on. Bases are going to be 90 feet apart. Rubber's going to be 60 feet, 6 inches away, and that's the message we keep giving to these guys. Thankfully, we get to practice on that kind of surface every day at our place with having the turf. If it does anything, it just eliminates the rain factor. If we end up getting any rain and ends up keeping that out. But other than that, it's a place that we've played before. We were able to play there during that Canes tournament that we won back in, I believe it was February or early March. And so it's a place where we're comfortable. It's a place where we've had success. It's a place where our guys enjoyed playing and they enjoyed the facility. We're looking forward to being good crowds, being loud, and being a place where there's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of excitement.
As I've looked on Twitter this week, learning about Ray High School and everything, they copied one of our tweets and put it inside. Well, here's their mindset. We need to respond. And it was the one about come wear blue, be loud. It's like we need to make this place turn red. And so they know. And that word is already out there to this team. That this team and this community travel well, and it's in a good spot. A quick trip down to San Antonio for the first time. I was talking to Jacob for the first time in a long time. I'm really excited to be going to San Antonio. It's not a place I venture down and it's going to be a great place to go visit. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow night and Friday night, and hopefully not having to go back on Saturday.
Agreed.
To face off against them. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the players, and then at the end, I'm going to bring you back, and we'll walk through the banquet and the Booster Club and the parents and the involvement from this community that I got to see firsthand on Monday night, but to see that and talk to you as a coach about that before we wrap it up at the end of the show. So we'll take a timeout. You're listening live to the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN Sports. We'll be right back. Back here live at the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live at Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Joined now by number 12, Nolan Jondel, the starting pitcher and the winning pitcher. I don't know. Did he get the W? Someone else got it. Pitched 4 innings of great baseball. Nonetheless, on Saturday in game number 3, and the last time we talked, Nolan, it was a conversation about what you're used to, and you guys playing travel ball all the time. And usually being a starter, and then in this role this year being one of the relievers. Then you get the ball handed to you for Game 3. Walk us through that as you prepared for Game 3 and what your thought process was as you knew, hey, that's my mound and my ball to go and make things happen.
Yeah, so they told us after Game 2 ended, they pulled us behind the bullpen and talked to us about what the situation was for next game and focusing on the next game ahead. And V told me I had Game 3, so on the bus ride going back, I started thinking about it and wasn't nervous on the bus ride going back home, but on the bus ride going to Westlake, it started kind of getting to me a little bit. I've never been in this kind of situation before, but trying to calm myself and get nerves under control. So.
What does that do to prepare you now, knowing that you're a junior, going to be one of the seniors coming back next year in that experience, to prepare you now to go, okay, I've been there, I've done that, and now I can handle any situation in which you've done a relief appearance several times this year, stepped in at games like Marble Falls, and had great appearances, but then come out in a Game 3 an all-deciding Game 3 of a playoff series, and you get handed the rock. How does that prepare you now as to be one of the leaders and be experienced next year?
Probably just being more confident in myself. I did my best on Saturday, and now going into that more for the rest of this year and even going into next year, definitely more confident in my stuff and knowing that I can do my job well.
Through 4 innings on Saturday, allowed 5 hits, 1 run that was earned, only walked 1, struck out 2, hit 1 batter. But 4 innings of solid baseball before the ball was handed off to Ty. When Ty comes in and goes to work for this Eagle team, only allowing a hit, and then turning it over to Wade Denton, who we found out on Monday night, one of the, I guess, the district closer of the year. And so it's just but it was a performance to put you in a situation you hadn't been in, that you shined in. This team had every confidence in you. How does that play in a situation? We talked at Marble Falls, and you said your confidence with the defense is second to none. You know this defense is behind you. Knowing you had those nerves going into Saturday, was that something that helped kind of calm those nerves, knowing that defense was behind you, ready to lock it down?
Yeah, Logan kept telling me every inning, between innings, he would flip me the ball, and he would be like, "You have the best defense in the state of Texas behind you," and just kept saying it. And as balls were hit, Eli turned a bunch of double plays for me, and EJ made great turns with him. Logan made catches, and Rhys picked and did his thing over at first. So I mean, it's true. I trust them, and they helped me out big time.
To have a third baseman, to have one of your infielders come in and do that every inning, is that something that builds a confidence in yourself? Is each inning, did you feel like you were getting stronger, you were getting more confident in your pitches and locating, knowing?
From the first inning to the fourth inning, it was definitely a big helped me with the confidence in that.
Now the rest of the way of the playoffs, the confidence is the confidence there for you no matter what, whether it be in a relief role, whether it be a Game 3, when Coach says, hey, time to go to work. Now that experience is going to continue to make things easier for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so. It was, it was good to get that first one out of the way, and kind of get more familiar with games like that, because, that might be the situations I've put in from the rest of the year. So, yeah, it was great to get that out of the way, great to get the experience for that game.
What kind of confidence does that give you as a junior that Coach said after Game 2, all of a sudden Game 3, you're getting the ball? What kind of confidence does that put inside yourself? We know the nerves are going to come. I think that's human nature. And you talked about that after getting on that bus headed down to Westlake. It's like, okay, the nerves have turned up a little more. But what kind of confidence does that instill in you as one of the juniors that's going to be a leader on this team next year, that Coach said, hey, we're going to Game 3, and guess who we're going to? We're going to Nolan. No questions asked. Is that a confidence builder for you? Is that Coach, trust me, now I go out and just do what I can?
Yeah, and I was trying to remind myself that the whole time going to the bus ride, and kind of thinking through that, and trust myself, because he trusts me and my teammates trust me to do a good job and produce for them and keep this going. So, yeah, I think that's huge for me.
Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Brian Kane and Kyle Ropolo.
Kyle Ropolo. Nolan Jondel, number 12 on your Georgetown Eagle baseball team, had a great performance in game number 3 against the Canyon Cougars, and he joins us tonight. Thanks so much for joining us, Nolan. Hopefully we'll have another experience of a great Nolan pitching outing. Maybe we don't have to go to you in Game 3. I would love to be done in Game 2, but thanks for joining us tonight. We'll take a quick time out and come back with another player. You're listening to the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN. Back here live at the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue in Georgetown, Texas. And then joined now by number 2, your second baseman, E.J. Davis. E.J., thanks for stopping by tonight. Man, what a series. First and foremost, have you ever been more excited to be hit by a pitch in your life than you were in Game 3 on Saturday night? Because the tweets going around of the hit by pitch and the plate stomp by your buddy Ty Klaus Geismar, it seemed like, and I say that because Zach got hit by a pitch, his excitement level. Then it's like you were like, no, you're not being outdone here. I've never seen someone more excited to be hit by a pitch. Was that the best one ever?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. That was probably my best one just because it tied the game up and we didn't want to lose. So, yeah.
I tell you what, your thoughts. What, as a player, as one of the starters, and has played pretty much, it seems like, every game this year at second base and done a great job. To have a series like this, it comes down to Game 3. It comes down to the bottom of the 7th inning. What's the confidence level as a senior, knowing that, hey, no matter who comes up, we're going to win this game? What was the mindset in that dugout for you guys as the 7th inning? Once you all retired the Canyon Cougars at the top of the 7th, what was the mindset coming in the bottom of the 7th?
We were all fired up. Ty was up to bat. We had 8, 9, and then it was top of the order, so we were all fired up. If one of them got on base, we were gonna score them. So, just the confidence in everybody and all the faith that we had in each other, it was through the roof.
A series like this, you go 500 for the series, 875 slugging percentage, 3 doubles in this series. It seemed like you were seeing the ball well from this Canyon Cougar pitching staff and putting the ball in play. 4 RBIs, scoring 3 runs, walked a couple of times. It's like it seemed like this series, everything just seemed to – it's like that ball grew a little bit bigger, and every time you got up, the confidence level seemed to be super high. Did it feel that way for you at the plate?
Oh, yeah, for sure. My first at-bat of the series, the ball was pretty big. It was flat and nice, and I hit second base, but I scored a run, and it was hard hit, and I was like, I'm seeing the ball well. It's going to be a good weekend.
To finish off at 500 against a team like Canyon that had some good pitchers. So we saw some good pitchers. A game on Saturday, Game 3 against Canalico, who only lasted an inning and 2/3 against Rouse in the first round. Couldn't find the strike zone, got lit up for 5 runs quick, but then comes out and seems to have things off balance. But then there's guys like yourself, Rhys Bell, who seem to say, it doesn't matter who's throwing on that mound, that ball's coming in and I'm going to put it into play. Offensively, does that feed you defensively? When you get out there, if you're last series, it didn't seem like the hitting was as well for you. It was more of a battle for you against Floresville. But then turned around, your defense was very clean against Floresville. Does the offense feed your defense, or do you just have to battle, separate them, and do your best at both no matter what?
I separate them. It's 2 completely different things. So if I'm not hitting well, I want to play good defense behind them so that way I'm contributing somehow.
What's the confidence coming out of a series like this against Canyon where you have a great series defensively and then a great one offensively? What's the confidence like coming out now as we go on to face Ray?
The confidence is up there. You can't be too confident to where you're a little arrogant. So, got to just keep it level,
One thing we witnessed on Saturday, and I'm curious from a player's perspective, Saturday, the 7th inning, you guys retired the Canyon Cougars. You guys come in down 1. The first person I witnessed out of the dugout to start yelling and getting everyone fired up was Coach Vierra. What does that say to you guys to see the coach come out and excited as ever, trying to get things going, knowing the confidence in yourselves and you guys are going to fire each other up, but to see the coach at no point seem devastated, not confident, but sold that, hey, it's time to go, and was the first one out to cheer that. What does that do for you guys?
It gives us a lot of confidence, seeing our coach all fired up and wanting us to win. It fires all of us up, and, it just gives us a ton of confidence going into the last inning. Hey, we're going to win this thing. That's what Coach was saying as we were going in. You get on base, and then you get the bunt down, and then these 3 guys come up. one of y'all is going to win, and that just gave us a ton of confidence.
I don't want to give Coach too much credit, but did he say someone was going to get hit by a pitch?
No.
Okay, so he didn't call everything. I
He
just
didn't
want to make sure he didn't call everything.
everything.
You're going to get on base, and you're going to get a bunt down, and all of a sudden it's like happening, and I don't want to give Coach too much credit. I mean, but he does seem to do a pretty good job of that. But so a series like that, on a high that you guys, as the week has gone, I've enjoyed going to Twitter and seeing different accounts. People throwing your name out there. Hey, y'all are missing on a good one right now. Keep watching, and you do good work. Is it pushing you to even work harder, to get better, to try to make a statement?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It pushes me a ton because I want to play well. So during practices and everything like that, putting in extra work outside of practice, it's pushing me a lot. Just seeing the different people post about me, it's definitely making me work harder.
I think the picture after getting hit by the pitch that's been all over Twitter has been fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think it was on the Statesman article after you got hit, how excited you were. Most people was like, I hit a home run. That's exciting. I mean, like Ty, sprinted around the base like Usain Bolt when he hit a home run. You get hit by a pitch, and it's like the picture on the paper that's just fun to be a part of and to watch. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Shout out the team. Shout out to all my family coming from California. They all fly in today.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
They're going to be in San Antonio for
Yes, sir.
the series against Ray.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. That's going to be exciting to see. E.J. Davis, number 2, your second baseman, joins us tonight. Thanks for joining us, E.J. We'll take a quick break here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Be back with Rhys Bell. And we're back here at the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue, and joined by Kelly Duvall's favorite nicknamed player on this team. It is Rhys "Wheels" Bell, and that is to be emphasized at this point because the Bell got a stolen base in this series.
I did.
He had multiple doubles in this series, a .625 batting average in a 3-game series against a Canyon Cougar team. Says a lot about it. 2 singles, 2 doubles, 1 beautiful tank that should have been a 2-run tank, 4 RBIs, no bigger than 2 RBIs on Saturday. What was going through your head? One, we talked a little bit after the game and all the excitement, and everybody wanted to talk to Rhys Bell. Rhys Bell was the hottest commodity on the field, so I was honored to be able to talk to you. You start the game off in the first inning with a sac fly to left field to score the first run of the game, a big RBI. Mm-hmm. But then the most important, crucial RBI of the day to end that series, to send us on to the next round, is a walk-off single to left field to score Zach Zavala from third base. What was going through your mind at the time? Once that ball went into left field, what's going on in Rhys's head?
I hit the ball, and I looked to make sure he didn't catch it. I knew they were playing in, so I didn't think he caught it at first, but I looked to see if it got over, and it did. As soon as it got over him, I knew we won the game, and I was super excited. And then from then on until I think I talked to you, I don't know what happened. I was just kind of running around. Everyone was running at me. So, yeah, that's what happened.
A lot of people were chasing Rhys Bell.
Yes.
After he touched first base and made it official. I've never seen someone slide into home and get up and take off running for someone as quick as I saw Zach Zavala. Because as soon as he slid across, which he didn't have to slide, but it was beautiful, because he did, and he popped up, and it was a turn and shoot towards Rhys. A series like this, you made several plays coming off the bag to make tags, scooping the ball up over at first base, doing what you've worked on. And we've talked about that through the year, and just putting in the work to make it to be the best at your position and to always be ready to back up your teammates. To have a series like this in your senior year, in a series that goes 3 games, and now to push us to that next round, how does that feel? A .625 batting average, a 1.250 slugging percentage in a 3-game series against a great team, but the defense was there and just as amazing.
It feels great. I mean, it's definitely the best series I've had so far, offensively and probably defensively too. But I don't really think about it too much because, all the numbers go back to 0 as soon as we start next week. So, it's cool to see, but, we got, it doesn't mean anything if we don't get after it next week. So
as we get ready to take on a Corpus Christi Ray team, does the mindset just reset into, hey, it's time to go play?
Yep. I don't think about anything in last round. I don't think about any hits or anything previously that I've done. Just think about, it's game 1 of the year. Time to go to work. We know what to do, and we got to execute. So,
a chance on Monday night. This team was celebrated in the banquet, and it was neat to see how many of you guys were honored with all-district academic and all-state academic, but then all-district in your performances in the positions that you guys play. Is it fun to get the accolades? But how are you guys then turning that around and going, well, we still got to go to work?
Oh, no, it's great. The accolades are great, and we have an amazing team. So all the awards we got were well-deserved, and I was happy for every one of my teammates that got awards. But we know, the award, if we had to give up all of our individual awards for state champion, plaque, and trophy, medal, whatever, then we all would. So that's the main goal. It's the main prize we're trying to get to, and it was great. We thought about it for a day, and then clock strike 12, and then we moved on, and now we're on to the next round. So
at this stage in life, knowing this is your senior year in your run, how hard is it to turn that off? How hard is it to go, okay, that series gone. Hey, Dad, I had a great series, and because it is exciting. You had a great series, and the praises and accolades were talked about, were tweeted out, and you're going to talk to your family. How hard is it? How hard was it for you to just turn that off and go, now back to work because we as a team have to focus?
It honestly isn't that hard. I mean, we're going to the 4th round now. We've been doing the same routine for the last 3 weeks, ever since, honestly, district play. We win a game, we lose a game, no matter who the opponent is. We kind of go through what we learned and what we did right and what we did wrong, and then we just move forward. I don't think it's that hard to me personally. I think it's easy for us as a team to look at what we did in the past and know we got to keep moving forward. And the only time as a team that we're really going to relax and stop 100% focus or think about the next 200 feet like Coach always tells us is, after our last game of the year, hopefully at Dell. So that's just kind of the mindset. I don't think it's that hard personally. I kind of just, I go through my routine whenever the series is over. Sunday's just kind of the Lord's Day, off day. And then Monday we go right back to it. We have practice, school, weights, and then during the week usually hit outside of school with teammates and get back to it. It's routine.
How ready are you to get back to it tomorrow night
Ready.
at 7 o'clock?
100% ready. I've been thinking about tomorrow ever since Coach told us on Monday. So
I got to ask you the same question I asked EJ. Just on that 7th inning, the Cougars get recorded. The outs are over. You guys got to come in and put up 2 runs to win that thing. Coach was the first one out of the dugout that I saw, and from the vantage point I had, he came out and got you guys, tried to get you guys going. What does that mean to you guys? As a player, what does that mean to you that the coach is just as confident in you as you guys are in each other?
it means like everything. I mean, I know Coach has 100% faith and 100% like belief in what we can do, and I know he gets us hyped up all the time. Honestly, the fans were crazy. It was great. But honestly, as the players, we didn't really when we were told to hype up the fans, we did, but we don't really think about the fans or anything during the game. I like to think about it as like an empty place, like something I can't hear in the box. In the box, I can only really hear the catcher and the umpire talking. And but no, it's great. It's great. Coach V believes in us, and he knows when we can handle something and when we can do something. All year we've been able to come back. We've been able to hold leads and come back from down 1 or down 5. So I think it's great. I think it's, that last inning, I knew that I was a couple batters away. I just wanted another chance to get an at-bat. And I told myself, if I got up again, I'm going to have quality at-bat. And if I end up getting up again, then, the coach on the other team is going to regret getting to me because I'm going to make something happen. But that was just my mindset. If I got up again.
And I think you're correct. I think Coach Nick Cazzola is regretting the fact that you got up again because you ended it in his season.
Yeah.
How big was that RBI? Was it fun?
It was the best thing. It was super fun. Yeah. No, it was. I honestly thought I was on deck. There was bases loaded. LT was up. I was focused. I was locked in. But I honestly thought, I was like, LT's got this. I'm going to let him do his thing. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to prepare myself for LT to get the hit. I honestly thought he was safe at home for a second. I really thought we got the dub right there. But as soon as he called him out, as soon as everyone was mad about it, started walking over, getting the batter's box. I was like, okay, I got to figure it out. Like Coach said, one of us is gonna have to do it. Doesn't matter who it is. When you get up, try to do your job. If you can't, next guy. If you do, then boom, just like that. So.
Rhys Bell, number 25, your first baseman. Any shouts before I let you go?
Landon Howe, shout out. Kyle Ropolo, because I didn't last time. And then my grandma and great-grandma in Illinois, they're kind of – my grandma's going to come to the game tomorrow, not my great-grandma, but shout them out because they always watch all of my games. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Rhys Bell joins us here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. A quick timeout. Back with Coach Vierra to wrap things up here on SHN. Back here live at Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue, the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live on SHN. Tell you what, it was fun on Saturday to be at Westlake, but yet to have our voice in the booth to have Chris Petty calling out the players, introducing the players.
Yeah.
It just that feel of home, and the players ran with it. The crowd was there, and Canyon had a good crowd. But, man, the turnout of these fans has been second to none in this series. The beautiful thing is we've pretty much stayed relatively close to home. We haven't had to go down to Jordon or down towards McAllen. This series being in San Antonio, how important is it for this crowd and this fan base to turn out for these kiddos?
It makes a huge impact. In fact, I believe it was last week or the week before. I was texting a buddy of mine, Rudy Davis, who I graduated with. He played here and he played at Texas for a little bit and ended up playing a little pro ball. But he texted me. He was like, "Man, he was like, I want to come to the game, but I got to get away from the student section. The student section's always really loud." And I was like, "For sure, it's always a big deal." He was like, "Man, do you remember whenever we played Dell Down when we were in school?" He was like, "The crowd made a total difference." He was like, "I remember walking to the plate and feeling my helmet vibrating because it was so loud." And that's the kind of impact that our crowd's been having lately is reaching the point of being an impact on the game. And the crowds we've had have done a great job of spurring our boys on to victory and getting them prepared where they need to be. So it's definitely something that our guys have enjoyed. It's something that our guys have leaned on. It's something that our guys have earned is the ability to be able to play in front of crowds like that. So it's been really good.
As we go down to Corpus Christi this week, I talked to Rhys, and you and I talked earlier. Monday night was the baseball banquet, and for the athletic director, Mr. Dean, Coach Dean, to put out there on Twitter, what an honor to be able to celebrate these young men, but yet they're still busy, and it's time to still do some work.
Right.
A lot of accolades were poured upon your team. Kind of talk about those as, we talked about scholars. The all-academic team within the district, within the state, but then a lot of these kids making the first, second teams, honorable mention within the district, and being recognized for the seasons they had as this team, one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah, we put a huge emphasis on academics for our guys. At some point in time, somebody's going to look you in the face and tell you that you can't play baseball anymore, and when that happens, you're going to have to be able to rely on something other than baseball. And for these guys, a lot of them, it's going to be their education. It's going to be them being able to get a degree and be able to go on and do something different with their life. And so at some point, you got to pay bills. And so hopefully that we tell these guys it may be when you're 16, it may be when you're 18, it may not be until you're 38. But at some point, God's going to tell you or somebody's going to tell you that the game of baseball is over for you. So our guys have done a great job of being students first this year. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head for the academic all-district, but I'm pretty sure it was well over a dozen, if not closer to 15 or 16 guys that were academic all-district, and that's maintaining a 90-plus average in all your classes during baseball season, or a 90 average of all your classes during baseball season. And then we had 8 academic all-state members. An academic all-state is an impressive feat in itself because it takes 4 years to accrue that, and it's a 93 average or better for your 4 years of high school, and to have 8 members of our team that did something like that's over half of our seniors, to put it in perspective, and that's a really big deal for us, and so we're extremely proud of the academic achievements that these guys have had, what they've been to accomplish. So we're just thankful for the work that they've put in for that, and obviously that turns into what you're seeing now on the field. What's really cool is when these guys work their tail and all the little stuff that we do off the field. And these guys will tell you it's not easy. We ask them to shave their face every day. We ask them to have short hair. We ask them to have an 85 or better in all their classes. Wally didn't get the memo. And then on top of that, we ask them to do 15 hours of community service every semester on their own. So we ask a lot of these guys, but what's really special is seeing the amount of time that they spend off of the field, and the details that they take care of off of the field start to turn into being on the field and seeing the success that they have on the field. And so it's a pretty special deal. Exceptionally blessed to be able to award these guys on Monday night at the banquet, and to be able to just get to show off that they're more than just guys that drive the baseball in and throw strikes.
Now flipping from the academic side to the athletic side, a lot of these players were recognized with all district honors. Wade Denton is the closer, and the way you said that, you talked about that Monday night when you presented it. That's every district coach going, I have no one to compete with that. speaks volumes of Wade and his ability. Players like Zach Landenheil, the district, the DH, players being recognized. But this team, it's throughout the year as we've talked to them, as we've talked to you, they're the first ones to pass the buck on to their next. Hey, man, this is my teammates. These are my brothers. This is my family. It's time to go back to work. And talking to Rhys, okay, well, guess what? 6:25, and now it's a 0 until tomorrow night, and then I'm ready to go. And this team has done that all year, and that's impressive. It's easy to get wrapped up in accolades. It's easy to get wrapped up in, man, I did a good job. Thank you so much for recognizing it. But for this team to set it aside and go, but now we go back to work. Yeah. How has that paid? How has that turned out on the field this week as you guys prepared for tomorrow night?
Yeah, this week's been just like every other week. I mean, the work ethic that these guys have shown. I mean, you don't turn yourself into a top of the state of Texas baseball team on accident. These guys are hard workers. They show up day in and day out and get after it. And the proof is in those awards. I mean, those awards are nice. Like Rhys was saying a minute ago, they're nice. But I think we can all say that we would all cash them in for a state title at any point in time, to get that gold medal around your neck, to be able to put a state championship ring on your finger, and to call yourself state champion. So the ability for these guys to continue to love on each other, to continue to realize that they may not have it that day, but the next guy that's right behind them does. Just is a testament to how much these guys genuinely care about what they're doing. It's not just something that they're just passing along. It's not a hobby for these guys. It's something that they genuinely care about and that they're excited to compete about every day.
And I think that goes back to the video that you showed at the beginning of the varsity presentation was what family. The family was the key word to all these players, and that they come to school and they go to work and they go to the field, and it's their brothers. It's a family, and it's an investment, caring about each other and feeling a part, but yet doing their part to make other people feel a part. Yeah. But then the way you emphasize to the freshman and JV teams, stop, look, and soak it in what it means to wear this G logo as the future of this program. And so that was fun to be a part of. How big is that for these kids to feel the turnout? And I say this because I've had all my kids, 2 went to and graduated from Hutto High School, and 2 went to Georgetown Gateway. And 2 different spectrums on size-wise in schools, but I've never seen the involvement between parents and booster clubs than I have this year in my first full year calling Georgetown, from football to baseball. The investment that these parents and these families put into those guys. You guys were still putting up tables after the thing started on Monday night. What does that say to these players in return? The investment that this community and these parents and these families make in this program to give them the best opportunity, one, to be successful, but then show that they're appreciated on the backside of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're incredibly fortunate to have parents that absolutely buy into what we're selling. They know that we love their kids, that we are going to build into their sons, and they take care of us on the other side of that too. They want their sons to have the best experience that they can in baseball. They want them to be able to have the nicest facilities they can have. They want them to be able to just have an incredible experience. And so our parents, our booster club, we even had Sun City Booster Club members showing up and showing out for the banquet. So I can't say enough about how thankful we are for the parent involvement that we have. They genuinely care. They genuinely care about their boys. They genuinely care about this program, about making sure that this program continues to grow the way that it has. And so to have that kind of support, we know that that's not like that everywhere, whether it be for setting up a banquet so that they can have something nice like that and be acknowledged at the end of the year, or it's investing in the golf tournament that we'll be able to host at the beginning of the year, or it's setting up the flags in front of the ballpark to make the ballpark look nice. There's countless things that these parents do aside from making sure that they have quality young men that they get to send to school every day. And the time that they have spent into their sons, and the trust that they have in allowing us to play a small role in that, and it's just something that I am beyond grateful for them to trust us, and then ultimately for having the incredible young men that they have.
And their tailgate parties are sure fun to be a part of before the games start. I've heard. I don't know. I just heard about those. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Northeast Sports Park in San Antonio. Take on the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. We're visitors in Game 1, I believe it is, and then home on Game 2, if necessary. On Game 3, we'll have a coin flip for that on Saturday. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Northeast Sports Park in San Antonio, Texas. Man, the way you say it every time, come down there, be loud, and wear blue. Nothing compares to the blue that fills up that stadium. Westlake was just covered in it. It was amazing. And some of the videos that Snoop Daniel put out on it, Flex ATX, just showing the crowd. He did a sweep of the crowd, and I took a video of it and sent it to Kelly, who had skipped on Saturday. Sorry, guys. I apologize for Kelly skipping. So I did carry the broadcast myself for you guys, just because I care. So,
In case you're curious, Wally's kind of a big deal.
I know Kelly gave up on y'all. I'm sorry. No, he did not. He had family obligations, so he'll be there this week. But it was awesome to send that to friends, going, this is how Georgetown showed out for these students, these athletes on Saturday on a Game 3 that was winner take all. Time to go, either go on or go home, and these kids performed and were treated. Treated the fans to a great game. Man, that was beautiful.
There's even more coming this weekend in San Antonio.
7 o'clock, we'll be live down there at Northeast Sports Park. It's hard to say that because it's not fun to go to San Antonio. Austin's where it is. Georgetown's where it's at. But we'll be live on SHM with all 3 games if necessary, hopefully just 2 on Thursday and Friday, so these guys can enjoy their weekend prepping for the next round. But it's 7 o'clock first pitch, both Thursday and Friday night, Saturday if needed. We'll be live 6:30 with a pregame and ready to go at 7 o'clock when the coaches finish talking to the umpires behind home plate. Anything before we leave?
Shout out to my beautiful bride. Keeps the house running. And my boy Jameson. Yeah, that's my guy. And then this weekend, man, show up, be loud, wear blue, make that ballpark someplace that's fun to play, and give these boys the energy that they need to make it happen. Something cool is going to happen this weekend.
Thanks for joining us live here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show.
Thank you, Wally.
We plan on being back one more time next week at least. But before that, we'll be live at Northeast Sports Park in San Antonio tomorrow for Game 1 against the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. Thanks for joining us live here from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Have a good night.